Hello there, my lovely Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon in Aries to your new moon, the new moon in Libra in October 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, Venus in Libra sign. The Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi, y'all. Hello, my Libran brothers and sisters, elements of air, right? A cardinal air that we are. My subscribers in particular, thank you so much for your love, your support, helping me on my YouTube journey. I'm monetized now because of all of you. My next goal, I know logically, should be somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000 subscribers. I'm shooting for 30 so that I can do the membership thing, so that I don't have to put the extended readings on other platforms. I can do them all right here. But we'll see how that goes. So if you're new to my channel, please do consider liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, commenting, all that jazz, and share if you feel like there's somebody who could use the work that I'm doing. That being said, let's focus on this reading, shall we? We are looking at a What Do I Need read, a 7-card draw, pulling one card from 7 different systems. We've got 3 healing systems. I'll explain them as I go. 2 tarot decks, tarot systems, and 2 oracles, or oracular systems. It's a fun word to say, oracular. It's a good blowjob word. So to get you little pieces of guidance and grace about this full moon to new moon next. So we're looking at the full moon in Aries Thursday. Actually, this will be posting tomorrow. Yes, so this will actually be posting on the day of full moon in Aries, 5:05 p.m. So I'll probably just have this one posting at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Obviously, October 2022, the new moon in Libra on the 16th of October at 3:31 p.m. Because it is the new moon in Libra on a Friday, I'm just going to say that it's a really good day for love magic, right? Plant the balanced seeds of healthy love, right? All that Venus stuff on a Venus day of Friday. So just saying, this could be very interesting for us in particular, above and beyond the other signs, because of that influence, which means we would be going through dark moon in Virgo. So that should be interesting before we hit that, being that I'm a Virgo sun sign, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So focus on your breath as we do that. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's a general read. Check your other signs, because particularly this one might hit you a little bit more, or I should say in a different way than say your if it's your moon, considering the new moon in Libra coming. Do you know what I'm saying? So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. Let's do this. All the decks that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom. I will focus on my breath as I go and get you the clarity, guidance, and grace. Maybe that too, doing me. That the gods prepared me all this time to bring through to the world. So let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Absolutely delicious. My collective pantheons. Oh, this feels so good. My angels, my gods, my goddesses, my ascended masters, and the higher selves of all involved, possibly my own included, because I do have Venus in Libra. Please, I need one card, a Caroline Mace archetype to symbolize, to represent. What is the soul pattern, the soul contract, the soul power being alchemized from lead to gold, from toxic to healthy, from shadow to light in this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, from this full moon in Aries to their new moon in Libra, October 2020. Thank you. So this could be something that we're dealing with as Libras. This can be something that we are dealing with in somebody else, as well as this could be an overall situation and all of those things. And this is the 3rd time this card has come up in this series, the magical child. Now, I'm not writing down the archetypes this time around because I'm not using them in the title, but I'm pretty sure this one came up in Aries because it was the child archetype, and I think maybe even Taurus, because I think it was like one right after the other. So, I mean, you can watch the first couple of minutes of those to double check, but there might be something there with you, because this, I could also feel where this particular archetype, and I'll read what's written on the card in a minute, could definitely be afoot within the spiritual community. The magical child, like think Harry Potter, what he had to go through, right? The orphan into the magical child. But even in a Jungian sense, the magical child and the innocent child are pretty much the same. So when we're talking about the child of our heart, right? The innocence of our heart that wants to love, that wants to believe in miracles. Here, I'll read you the thing. You'll get what I mean. Yeah, let me read the light attribute, then the shadow. I know I usually do that the other way. The light attribute, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things. The belief that everything is possible, right? It's like how that child in us so needs to be cared and fed for at this time on planet Earth. You feeling me, right? Because the whole world is in dark night of the soul, if you want to go there, right? And it ain't just 12 hours, right? It is a whole schemata of transformation, but it's of the soul, right? The soul is transforming us. It's a spiritual transformation, but it's very easy for that child to what? Go into the shadow, pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Like, look at the transformation that's going on the planet. We can't really be passive, but if we're depressed and sad and burned out, you get what I'm saying? So how do we love that child? How do we, like, so what's the archetype you need to alchemize within yourself this new full moon to new moon next? It's inner child work. It is, everybody has the child archetype. Maybe not everybody has the magical child archetype. In other words, the dominant, it's the survival archetype. The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. All Carolyn May's Sacred Contracts. Don't come for me if you don't like the way that they're titled. I didn't write the book, but she's right. Everybody has those four. So that child archetype, of course, has sub-archetypes within it. The magical child, the nature child, the divine child, the orphan child, the wounded child, on and on and on and on. So this is one in particular that really does speak about, I mean, the magical child is necessary, in a sense, to maintain your innocence on the spiritual path, because it is the innocence of your own heart, or at least that soul power to experience the innocence of your heart. It's a very, very tricky thing nowadays, right? To have hope that it's all going to work out somehow and yet still take action, right? Not to just surrender it and do nothing. But that child has to feel safe in order to do that. The child archetype, regardless of its sub-pattern, is the guardian of safety and innocence, right? So when your heart feels safe, you can see things with new perspective. So what is then moving from the collective pantheons? Let's ask the Ascended Masters through the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck. What is the perfect healing mantra to help you with that alchemy, right? That's what I love about this particular type of 7-card draw, is to really ask, well, what do I need? Then this becomes a form of spiritual counseling. And so I do these for myself, and I think a lot of people do, right? What do I need? What do I need today, right? They pull a card. This is just a little bit more Virgoized, right? Of course it would be. Look who's doing it. Breathe. And let's get into that heart space if we can here, Libra placements that we are. My Ascended Masters, please, you who love us, I mean, you love us, you've played the game before. In some cases, you are us. You are the future versions of us looking back, watching this from a higher place and intervening through time and space, very much like an episode of The Flash, I have to say, except not showing up with my eyes open. I really appreciate that. Don't need to be Gary Renarded while I am doing video reads here. So please, one card in clarity. 4, glad I make you laugh. One card in clarity. What is the perfect healing mantra for the Libra collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs from this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. Our moon signs October. Our moon sign, our new moon, October 2020. Growing beyond guilt. It couldn't happen any other way. Gee, how did he know that one? because they've pulled it about 1,000 times. This is a really, really powerful mantra. It couldn't have happened any other way. It's not an excuse. It's a quantum truth. But that's the thing. When you first do it, it feels like, well, that feels like couldn't happen any other way. It's like, yes, you could have. You could have not been an asshole. All right? It could have gone this way. It could have gone that way. And that's true in the quantum. But we always get the level, I opened right up to the frickin' page. We always get the quantum version that we need for the evolution of our soul, not the comfort of our personality or the gratification of our ego. In fact, it's when we don't get what we want that makes us mature, sort of like wine in the bottle instead of being drunk as grape juice, right? Growing beyond guilt, it couldn't have happened any other way. When you grow beyond guilt, there is a heartfelt acceptance that any sequence of events unfolds in perfect flow that is organized and expressed by the universe, right? So that it's the universe is doing now. Hold that for a second. All right, so the universe, this is all perfectly scripted, right? It's all the perfect sequence of events expressed by the universe. Well, why, right? What would that child do if it was in its sadness? And then, why are you doing this to me? Completely valid emotion. This takes the pressure of control off your shoulders so you can enjoy the way in which life has come to be. But in order to do that, that child has to be on board. You can't say, come on, we're going to the doctor, smile, everything's wonderful. It's like, no, not if it's really carrying that guilt, either guilt of their own towards themselves or for somebody else for what they did. All right, guilt goes both ways. A chain around my brother is a chain against myself, of course, in miracles. Since everything is destined to change and can only change you for the better, growing beyond guilt enables you to see how exquisitely the gift of life unfolds. But you can't see that if you're seeing through a glass darkly through the lenses of guilt. You need to see what? Through the lenses of the innocent child. And usually that happens as or after some healing has taken place. Last little bit here. This mantra is ideal for releasing the past, unhooking from karmic patterns, thank you, and forgiving yourself. Right? Regardless of what anybody else does, you can forgive yourself because, darling, you did the best you could and it couldn't happen any other way. Isn't that what the child of your heart wants to hear? Like every day, all the time. See, another way I could sum that up is to say learning curve. You're a soul, learning, growing, healing, and evolving. Nobody has a fucking handbook. Even those who say they do are either lying, delusional, or both. We're all flying by the seat of our root chakras, so to speak, so let's keep going. Those are two of our three healing systems. We'll get to the third one in a little bit. After we do some tarot, one card from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot to represent the yin, right? What you need to be aware of inside of yourself. And that can be psychologically, not just emotionally, right? It's fire, earth, air, water, spirit, like any tarot deck would be. For the outer, the yang, we are going to pull from the Mythic Tarot, just what to be aware of, what you need to heal, and perhaps some indication of either what this guilt is about, that this magical child archetype is growing beyond, or how to do so, right? Like what it's about, how to move through this. Does anybody else hear that beeping? Breathe. I'm a magical child. I made it stop. No, you didn't. Oh, my goddesses, Aphrodite, my matron for the year. I mean, that's the thing about having a god or a goddess for a matron or a patron for a year. They're forever with you. It's like being exposed to radiation over a period of time. They mutate you. Oh, it'd be so wonderful. I know who the next goddess is that is claiming me at Yule, and it's lovely. But working with Aphrodite as my divine mother has been lovely. So she sits in the throne of Libra with Eros, her son, and that's been our relationship this past year. Mom and son. So let's do this. Nice deep breath. Talk about a magical child. Yeah, give them wings and a bow and arrow to zap people, make them fall in and out of love with each other. Sounds like a Libra to me. Please, my goddesses, Aphrodite in particular, if you can make Aphrodite laugh, you're having a good day. Please, one card in clarity for this, the Venus collective Sun, Moon, Rising Venus sign, perhaps myself included. What is it we need to be aware of inside of ourselves, in the world behind our eyes, the inner world of the heart and the mind and the willpower and the choices and all those inner machinations of the yin, please. One card in clarity for us. What do we need to know, be aware of, feel, deal with, heal from this full moon in Aries to the new moon in our sign Libra, September, October 2020, or timeless. The star. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Right? Okay. The guidance that we need is within us. The grace that we need is within us. To me, the star has always been the most spiritual card in the major arcana in terms of not just hope, and yes, certainly that. Saint Teresa of Avila. Hope is the only thing we are entitled to, or we are only entitled to hope, I think is the original quote. But come on, it's 14th century Spain. Probably had a little bit of a game of telephone along the way there. So this is really saying the guidance, the grace, your spirituality, that magical child. Now look, kid, don't wish on a star, because if you wish on a star, you'll still get beat by people who worked hard and suffered and sacrificed. It's very Terry Pratchett, we free men. So that's, that's being a little bit more pragmatic, but it's still within you. The light, the star, what it is you really want, this child's magic and belief is still within, right? The belief in miracles, right? The belief that everything is possible. The sacred beauty is within you. Now, I know you've heard it all before. Oh, everything I want, everything I need is within me. That and $10 will get me a cappuccino at Starbucks. And maybe croissant. But to just feel this, right? I can feel this light inside that this represents within at least, well, within everybody, but the Libra, because it's that new moon, may be restored to their innocence, being guided by something so deep inside of them, that place of hope, your highest vision, your highest dream. Your heart's desires are given to you by the divine. Did you choose them, or were they there all along? That's an introspective journey to take. When did I start wanting this? And you realize, no, I've always wanted this. Well, if it's something that you've always wanted, chances are it couldn't have happened any other way. And so the journey for you to get this heart's desire, this dream, right? To make my dreams come true, whatever that may be, why wouldn't the magical child go through harsh periods, right, with that in the shadow in order to come back into the light? And back and forth, it's not so little in this world is once and done, but every time you alchemize something into gold, yes, there's the opportunity to alchemize it back into lead, symbolically speaking, but that's why this is a journey. And you don't have to feel the same way all the time. You don't always have to be in belief to get what you want. That's superstition. That's not law of attraction. You're allowed to feel how you feel, right? Law of allowance, if you want to go there. AbrahamHicks.com. Let's see what's going on the outside here. This is fascinating. I'm so glad this is the last reading that I could be associated with until I get to Pisces at the end. One nice deep breath. Because we spoke to the mother, now let's speak to the sun. Oh, Lord Eros, my gods of Libra, my gods of cardinal air, please. Oh, you're so beautiful. There he is, please. One card in clarity, my beloved Archer. One card in clarity. What do we need? This Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign from this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, our new moon sign. We've got the magical child being alchemized, growing beyond guilt with the star inside, right? To let that light shine too, right? To be in touch with that spirit, that beautiful God, presence of the divine within ourselves, the star that we are. Oh no, hashtag Solara. I'm so glad they named a car after her. Oh, old bosses, please. They're so much fun. Please, one card. What's going on for us in the yang, the outside here? This Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, this full moon to new moon next October. Yes, witch work, the world. Completion. Completion. We are ending a cycle on the outer and on the inner. I mean, come on, it's a star on the inner and the world on the outer. I guess you could get better than this, but at this moment, I don't see how. Look, the more that you can grow beyond guilt here, it couldn't have happened any other way, couldn't have happened any other way. Now, that doesn't mean instantly you're going to feel better about it. It doesn't have to. It's a more pragmatic quantum point of view from, if you like, the point of view of the soul of the spirit within you. Honey, this was written, this was scripted, it couldn't have happened any other way. And what seems like a curse often ends up to be a blessing. And so often what seems like a blessing later on seems like a curse. It's just the dualistic ways that we deal with things in this world, but everything is here to change us for the better. So beautiful, so beautiful. So yeah, I am feeling a happy conclusion here on the outside. Maybe the end of a cycle, maybe the end of a toxic relationship, but the thing about the world is it reboots. It goes right. That's why it's the Ouroboros, the serpent swallowing its own tail with Hermaphrodite. See, again, my lighting schemata here is, I pop up a picture at the end for these anyway. So you'll be able to see that with the star card there, with fire, earth, air, water, all in balance, and the circle, and Hermes and Aphrodite got together, had a baby, Hermaphrodite, right? Both genders in one body. That's the fullness and completion of this. And usually that speaks of a successful completion, a happy completion. But it's very interesting. Does that make sense for, it does make sense for a new moon to a full moon to a new moon read. Because it does like bloop, end it, and then boop, reboots it. Forgive my sound effects. I was raised by a nursery school teacher. They're hardwired. Okay, what's the problem, ma'am? We're going to use the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, half of it, the suit of the problems. The other suits are back on in a box on the bookshelf, the hutch back there, not the Starsky, the hutch. So let's ask the Ascended Masters who gave us this Growing Beyond Guilt card. Couldn't have happened any other way. What's the problem that's going on here? Breathe. Why, yes, that's delicious. Thank you. Hello, my Ascended Masters. Please, one card in clarity for this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020. Please, we've got the magical child with Growing Beyond Guilt. It couldn't have happened any other way, with the star calling them forward. My God, if the child can just keep following that star, and yet in the outside world tying up these loose ends, right? That what is the problem that may have already been, well, one would think would be in the process of being resolved if we've got really the card of the world here, right? The resolution of it that would come through the card of judgment leading to the completion of it all. What's the problem here, my Ascended Masters? I'm sorry. That might have been a little personal, that guffaw. Excuse me for a moment. Fear of commitment. You know, when you're in a relationship with somebody and you run their chart and they don't know, it's just fucking funny. Fear of commitment is the problem here. And I get it, right? It's like, this guy is offering her flowers and she's imagining putting him, that he is holding a ball and chain, right? It's like he actually feels love for her, but she's feeling that he's going to trap her and chain her and control her, which I understand. And why wouldn't that be a problem, right? A fear of commitment, that child having its faith, its hope challenged by the fear of commitment, their own or somebody else's. Yeah, because if you've had somebody bail because of fear of commitment, it creates within you what? A fear of commitment. It's like, you talk about let me not say that word. It's like a bacteria that spreads instead of the V word that I could have used because it might get flagged. Yeah. Fear of commitment is the problem here. Now, what I get is that one way or another, whatever this commitment is about, this could be the magical child's commitment to believing, right, in its highest vision, right? What is it? May my life please be blessed with my highest vision, manifest, known or unknown, seen or unseen. I write spells, babies. It's what I do. I know, they should have hired me on Charmed, but unfortunately they didn't know who I was and probably still don't. So this is going to complete itself in some way, shape, or form. And form, I think, is the word you need to underline. This isn't just an internal completion. This is an external one. But it couldn't have happened any other way. So you may cry, right? If this ends the way that other than how the ego wants it to, or your personality really wants it to, you cry. It couldn't have happened any other way, but those tears are the tears of that magical child, and to love it from that place of sadness into a place of safety, giving yourself the love that only you can give you. Can you commit to that? Can you commit to loving the innocent child of your heart every day? It's not a healing technique. It's a relationship. Oh, shit. Oh, snap. Our last two cards, as I said, right, 3 healing systems. This was the third one, the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. It's not really a divination system. It's a healing system. Particularly its 4 suits, how they interplay with each other. Here now we take the Whispers of Love Oracle that I use for the voices of the higher selves of all involved, probably my own, that my reaction to the fear of commitment card inspired such a guffaw type laugh. I'll take it that I might have some skin in this game. Take a nice deep breath. Yeah, I tried to live in the ivory tower when I do these readings. It doesn't work. For me, please, the higher selves of all involved, my own included, please, one card in clarity for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this new full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, our new moon for the year. Please, what have you got for us? What is the piece of inspiration, insight, or information you would have us know? For this, I can feel it, full moon to new moon next October 2020. Love endures. Oh God, love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation, which is true because love is eternal. Only the love is real here. That's the part that is eternal. Oh, it can be written upon. It can be occluded. It can be covered up. The shadows of fear, right? Very much the fear of commitment can put that eternal love, the true love that does endure within us. And I don't mean true love in a romantic sense only. I mean in terms of your love for the divine, your love for the people in your life, just the love that you are radiating outward, like the star, right? This truth of who you are shining through some completion. One is creating the other. It feels like they're happening kind of simultaneously over this waning moon part. But that you will endure this. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So whatever has to come up to be healed and released, let it. Let it. If this is a rough one, I mean, I could see that being, because you're going to have to deal with either your pain from somebody having a fear of commitment, because you know what? Yes, fear of commitment can happen in familial relationships, but that's not usually the framework, right? What is your commitment to love yourself? What is your commitment to yourself? And I would think that would help you endure, right? Love does not give up or lose faith. To love that magical child of your heart, keeps coming back to that, right? So that you can have faith that though everything is possible, only the highest possibilities come to be, whether I envision them or not. It's a mantra from this deck. You can see why I pick my divination tools, technically a healing system. Last card down, though, Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Let's have a look-see-duck-see. because I want to know what's the healing angel to call upon. Because here's the thing, right? Starting at full moon, you could invoke, call, ask this angel to come into your awareness and talk to it a little bit every day for, well, 15 days, right? From the 1st to the 16th. The 16 days, but whatever. Breathe. Really, if there's a practical application to my readings, I'm a witch. Oh, my angels and archangels, hello, 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 please. I need one card in clarity for the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. Please, what is the angel that we can call upon to help us heal, and explain to us what that angel would do in terms of helping us heal? Angels, if plural, you can understand it's a battalion. We're calling them by service, not by name. So for us Libras, this full moon to new moon next October 2020, we can call upon the angel of new beginnings, and it's our fucking new moon. Hang in there. You are being prepared for a new beginning. Now, in what? This is a general read. This could be in anything in your life, but definitely something that couldn't have happened any other way. Look, the angel of new beginnings, right? It's totally the dark moon, right? You're going to go through the waning 2 weeks of this to get to the new moon. Now, at any point along the way, you could say, all right, no matter what happens, I'm going to be dealing with a problem of a fear of commitment. Look for it within yourself and do the best. Because what if it is this terrified child? Right, that shadow. Let's not say terrified. Let's say pessimistic and depressed, not believing in miracles. What is a miracle? A miracle is something better than we can imagine, right? Like you hear all the universe has a plan that's better than anything you can imagine. Divine will is better than you can imagine. Well, if you can't imagine it, that sort of leaves you like, whoa, where it's really hard to believe in anything of that nature. But that's the job of that child. That's the soul power of the magical child, to believe, I don't need to know what it is, but I can feel it, right? It's like walking into the gates of, well, I don't want to say Disneyland, but you know what I mean? That's sort of like, that magical innocence that it's all going to work out, because a new beginning is coming. And whether this is a new beginning in something that has already happened, a relationship coming back around, there is something miraculous in play here. Come on, with the card of the star. Oh, let's just pop up the whole picture, shall we? Magic clap. We have the magical child archetype in the shadow. Pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. And I would try and keep that in mind. How can I take this into action? What can I actually do? We've got the light attribute, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, which does mean pulling back and maybe seeing this eventually as, oh my God, it couldn't have happened any other way. That was beautiful. In other words, if you end up transformed in a way, in a new beginning, where you have something better than you could have imagined, then that really builds that builds the skill of seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, because then you're able to look at the entire past and see how it got you to this new beginning. The belief that everything is possible. It's just really cool. And of course, with the mantra for growing beyond guilt, it couldn't have happened any other way. That's just so right there for that kid, because, well, if it's the innocent child / magical child, then if the kid's feeling guilty, right? What does it need to heal? It needs to know, honey, it couldn't have happened any other way. It just had to play itself out this way. There's a larger plan in play, and it's all a learning curve, and I love you, right? That's the kind of things, like, don't over-spiritualize talking to this child. It's innocent. It just needs the words that it needs to hear, and you don't have to feel it so much as you need to mean it. Like, there are days that I'm like, I feel this child of my heart, and particularly when it's feeling that card of the star, right? Wanting to hope, wanting to believe, but being afraid to believe in false hope, right? To pay too close attention to the readings or to the signs because it didn't work out the way we wanted to. Hence a fear of commitment to even hoping here, right? So if you've been dealing with fear of commitment in other people, is there a fear to commit to that miracles do happen, and everything is happening for a higher purpose and part of a plan, and it couldn't have happened any other way, because I know what that feels like. You're coming to the end of a cycle here. What a perfect opportunity to look back and see just that with that World card, that you will address that fear of commitment in yourself, and maybe it will explain some of it for others. Not that because you have a fear of commitment, they do, but like I said, if there was a commitment that someone, you know, you're in a relationship where there was a fear of commitment, maybe not your own, and they bolted, that can really impact a child, regardless of what age you are, the innocence of your own heart. So love endures, right? Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. That's what your higher self is saying to you, in the sense of, honey, we haven't given up hope on you. We know what's coming. We love you. We have faith that you will get through this. Keep going. You are strong. You can withstand every situation. And isn't that what a good parent says to a child? Even if I'm not carrying you, right? You can take action on this. I love you. You are strong. I made you, right? In that sense, from the higher self speaking to the personality speaking to the inner child, right? Because there is this new moon. Call upon the angel of new beginnings to prepare you for this, the end of this cycle, moving into the new, whether this happens on the day of the new moon or not. It's definitely part of a larger cycle that you are in. One that is going to bring you some kind of conclusion and a new beginning, but my sense is rather rapidly. So love this child of your heart, even if the only love that needs to endure for at least the beginning of this is to say to yourself, my darling child of my heart, I love you. It couldn't have happened any other way. That's a kick-ass reading. That's spiritual counseling in 7 cards is what that is. So may the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need. This new moon in Aries, full moon in Aries, to their new moon in Libra, October 2020, that they may heal this magical child, growing beyond guilt, following that star, allowing that light that they truly are to shine as things come into completion, that they are able to release the fear and transform the fear of commitment within themselves so that the love within them can truly shine through, helping them endure every situation as they are prepared for this new beginning. The angel of new beginning clearing the way for them, for their well-being, for the well-being of their relationships, and for the well-being of all sentient life, essentially for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Love does conquer all, but true love truly conquers. This is the kind of true love you give yourself. Yeah. Breaks all curses, heals all wounds, apparently, but not all at once. My good God, thank you so much for watching my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment if you have any idea what this is about, even if you come back a week from now and be like, oh, that's what that meant. Helpful. Helpful for me to see this through other people's eyes as well, because I can really relate to this. Anyway, wishing you the very best and the very blessed of it all, my darling Libras. Thank you so very much for your support. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.